isn't it? I suggest you turn it down.
If you hung over, it's Monday morning. What were you doing last night? Andy Murray's forgiven.
People,
he's allowed.
Quite a lot of people going the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival, which leads nicely on to our guest. We have, of course, we've been trying it all morning. We've got Rylan Cavell, who is part of the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival. He's actually the bar manager down at Fab Cafe in Manchester, great little venue. And also you're taking part in Rehearsal Space as well, which is it a comedy?
I describe it best as a heartwarming comedy, because there's some deep stuff in there as well, but it's sugar-coated quite nicely.
Yeah.
But it's set behind the scenes of a 1970s low-budget sci-fi show. So Fab is the perfect venue for it, because it doesn't need much setting.
That's right, yeah.
And it's set across 30 years, so you get the cast and crew as they first meet, and then 30 years later at a convention, when they come back together, and it's sort of following how the cult status of their show that they've been working on over those years has affected them.
Yeah.
And how they treat the fans and how they're treated by the fans, that kind of thing.
Is a lot of dressing up that's going to be involved in that?
There are some fun costumes, yeah. We've got, being set in the 70s in the first half, it was good fun, just trailing charity shops and lock-ups and trying to find the appropriate attire.
Oh, of course.
Could have looked in your wardrobe, Chris. I'm sure they'd have found some great outfits.
Very harsh. So that's Rehearsal Space is obviously part of the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival. How exciting is it? Because obviously this is the second year of it. Are you excited to be involved with it?
Oh, very much so. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity for anyone who wants to get involved in sort of amateur theatre, comedy, anyone who wants to sort of break into music scene to any degree at all. It's a fantastic opportunity, as for myself as well, because I'm do writing and various things on the side. So this is the perfect opportunity to put something on for Fab, in Fab, and for the Fringe, and to reach a massive audience with it as well.
Of course. Obviously, the festival's taking place across several recognisable venues. We've got Frog and Bucket on Oldham Street, Band on the Wall on Swan Street, and obviously Fab Cafe on Portland Street yourself. How important, in terms of the venues, obviously you being a bar manager, is it to the venue? Obviously, it's important for people to be able to express their art, but how important is it to the venues to have this sort of festival around it?
I think it's quite important for the venues and for the city as well. I mean, it's a chance for everyone to try something different.
Yeah.
We're not massively set up for certain kinds of shows, so this is an amazing chance to rethink how we put stuff on and get new things in and really just completely expand the sort of the portfolio of stuff that we have and that we do for the city.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about how the festival started last year? Were you involved as well at that point?
Only on the periphery. We had a couple of events on at Fab, so I was there sort of orchestrating to the behind the scenes stuff, getting that organised. But it was kind of sprung on me to a degree, because I didn't know it was going on, and all of a sudden it was everywhere. So like I say, this year being its second year, the ball's rolling. It's rolling much more massively. It's the huge snowball effect from even just 1 year later. It's brilliant.
It really has got massive. You've got some great ambassadors as well to the festival. You've got Justin Morehouse, Arthur Bostrom. I said I wouldn't do this, but good morning to him if he's listening. And Shobna Gulati as well from Coronation Street. Do you think the festival is growing so quickly that it's getting the credit it deserves with that sort of people being the ambassadors to it?
Definitely. I mean, it's an amazing thing to have these people involved and to be sort of the ambassadors of it, sort of flying the flag for local Manchester talent. It is fantastic. Obviously not being a local myself.
Yeah.
It's nice to have so much going on in Manchester, that brings people out of the woodwork, really.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Obviously at the moment as well, we've got the Manchester International Festival. What sets the Fringe Festival apart, not just from the International Festival, but other comedy and drama arts events around in Greater Manchester?
I think because we're very sort of, everyone does it very independently, but obviously as a whole. So every venue has their take on it and puts on what they feel is appropriate. So you'll get so much more diversity, I think. You'll get so much more small talent coming through that you might not get at, say, a bigger festival or bigger events. and it's a great sort of sounding board for people testing out material for other fringe events like Edinburgh Fringe and so on like that. It's a great little stepping stone for people that want to do other things.
Yeah.
To get the foot in the door. Doesn't involve the trials and tribulations of getting involved in something that's, ridiculously well established and, entrenched in God knows what.
Yeah, I mean, it's the grassroots, essentially.
Exactly,
You've seen people emerging, might even be their first gig.
Yeah, well, we've got people involved in my production, Rehearsal Space, that have never acted before. And they have taken to it like ducks to water. It's fantastic. It's so nice to have, even in just my show, people who are trained actors, people who teach acting for a living, spoken word poets, and people who just want to give it a go, all come together and just have an amazing time and have a riot doing it.
It is incredible. I really want to try and get down some. It is running, of course, till the 31st July. Rehearsal Space, just to go back to it, could you sum it up to us in one sentence for what people could expect?
Rubber monsters, wobbly sets, screaming, and people not being in the right state of mind.
That's perfect.
That could have been a summary for our show as well.
It could be, yeah. You can go and see it, obviously, down at Fab Cafe on Portland Street. It's running on the 14th, 15th and 16th. So that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week. Yeah. And there's also plenty going on. You can go onto the Fringe website, greatermanchesterfringe.co.uk. If you want to check out what's going on with Rehearsal Space, use the hashtag Rehearsal Space. Yep. You can also follow Rylan at Rylan Cavell, the Rylan Cavell. Yeah. I missed that out this morning. And also you can follow the Fringe as well on Twitter, get all the knowledge of what's going on. There's something on every day. There's 3 or 4 things on. Yeah,
there's so much going on. It's been so tough trying to work out what I am actually able to go and see around rehearsals and work and everything else.
Of course. And just finally, what do you think the future holds for it? Obviously it wants to grow.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of venues that are involved this year increased from last year quite dramatically, and I can see it staying, as I say, a grassroots kind of thing, so we've got new talent all the way through, but I can see it spreading out and becoming much more well-known, and just getting more and more venues involved. It's going to become, I think, quite something over the next few years.
Maybe even rival the Edinburgh Fringe.
Our fingers are crossed. Our fingers are firmly crossed. I've got my toes as well. Well, that's
exactly.
Quite awkward to undo now.
Well, good luck with it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Hopefully we can pop down and see Rehearsal Space. Do check it out. It's from that sentence, it's definitely worth going seeing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And of course, we're celebrating the best of British, which you can see at the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival. And Rylan's chosen a great track, which is Angel Eyes by Brian Ferry and Roxy Music.